very powerful asteroid that's going to go by the Earth. It's not going to hit us. Everybody calm down. It's not going to hit us. But on Saturday, June the 24th, asteroid 441987. That's 441987, an asteroid that scientists discovered back in 2010. It is huge, though. It's 750 feet wide in diameter. 750. This is a big rock. A lot of times you got smaller rocks go by, and they go by a lot closer. This one is going by at 7.9 LD. It's not, I repeat, it's not going to hit the Earth. But it is huge. It is a near-Earth object, and there are, we've been witnessing them now. There's been a major increase in the number of asteroids that have been going past the Earth as near-Earth objects within range. That's called a near-Earth object. Matter of fact, right now, NASA's got their eye on 1,803 of them that continue to threaten the Earth at different times. It's almost every day. A couple days ago, we had 2 of them. One was only 33 meters. The other one was only 28 meters. Okay? But they went by. They weren't very close. They were even further away, but they're still considered near Earth. We've had some of those scrape by. Like we had on June 19th, we had one. It was 17 meters, so it was small, but it was only 1 LD from the Earth. In other words, it was only 240,000 miles. It was the distance from the moon to the Earth and when it went past. The problem you have is the more of these that keep showing up, the fact that we're in this galactical belt, that we have this increase in the numbers that are exponentially increasing, and the fireballs that keep coming through our Earth's atmosphere. We know that we can't keep dodging them. They know it. Scientists know it. Look, can I tell you what else is happening? Asteroids are increasing at numbers that the probability is increasing so much. We know, and according to the Bible, we know we're going to have at least 2 major deep impacts that are catastrophic, cataclysmic on the planet. It's prophesied to happen. We also know that in America, we are so overdue. The San Andreas fault line is so overdue to go, the big one. There hasn't been a major quake in that part of the world in 100 years. Cascadia is a ticking time bomb up there near Washington State, Oregon, Northern California, southern southwestern corner of Canada. We know Cascadia is going to go. It hasn't gone off since 1700, and that one was so mega, so huge. I mean, it's been over 300 years. We know the New Madrid fault line that went off in the quake we had 1811 and again in 1812, reshaped the entire direction of the Mississippi River. It is so overdue, it's scary. So then we know the super volcano is alive and shaking and quaking, and the devil's back is breaking, and that thing wants to go, and that's up in Montana at Yellowstone National Park. And now you got asteroids increasing like never before, earthquakes increasing. Last year, we had 44 official different volcanoes that erupted. 44. That is a significant uptick. The Earth averages about 38 a year. We had 44 last year. So we're sensing, and with the dead animals and all the dead birds, dead fish, dead cows, it's just apocalyptic conclusion to the matter. And I'm not even talking wars and rumors of wars. I'm not talking nuclear fallout. I'm not talking migrant crisis and major radical Islamic advancement. I'm not even discussing the fact that by the year 2050, we have to have twice as much food growing to feed the population than we have right now. Twice as much. Look at me in the eye. Just by the year 2030, I said 2050, I'm wrong. 2030, we have to have twice as much food growing. Are you serious? That's why the UN has what's called a global sustainability agenda. They've moved from Agenda 21 to another whole agenda. And that is, they got to figure out a way to, either they got to grow twice as much food in the next 13 years than they are right now, or they got to figure out a way to depopulate the planet. So, folks, that's why the Agenda 21. That's why the chemtrails. That's why you see the Georgia Guidestones. This is why you see this globalism. It's a world movement. It's a new world order. It's the beast in the Bible. This is why all these things are happening. Technological advancement. And then now they're wanting to manipulate DNA. And the artificial intelligence that's starting to be increased. And all of the different things taking place are shaping up the wickedness, the spiritual evil that's abounding, the wars, the rumors of wars. Soon you're going to see false Christ and false prophets really start to rise, and they'll deceive many. And you're going to see more extreme weather conditions. And then there's Planet X. I mean, are you serious? There's Planet X out there, Nibiru. What are you going to do with that? That's real. I mean, the earth is shaken. Jesus said, there shall be signs in the sun, the moon, and the stars, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea, the waves roaring, and men's hearts would fail them for fear, looking after those things that are coming upon the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. But then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, he said, just look up and just lift up your head, for your redemption is drawing nigh. But are you ready to meet the Lord? Are you ready? And what if you should die in one of these cataclysmic situations? I didn't even talk about sinkholes that have went off the charts, swallowing things. That's another whole issue. Mudslides, tsunamis, hurricanes and cyclones that are going to continue to increase. Are you saved? Come on, let's get right with God. This world is not, there's no hope here. I mean, this is just where we're hanging out till eternity comes. But where will you spend it? Give your life to Jesus Christ. 12 noon Eastern, I'll be live. Join me right here on this YouTube channel. I'll be live. 464 earthquakes in the last week have happened in Montana at Yellowstone National Park, around this and on top of and right at the super volcano. This thing is ugly. The fountain paint pot that continues to bubble and to feel the pressure. The ground is raising, and NASA's so concerned they're flying constantly over top of it now with that super infrared telescope that can look down and monitor the movement of the magma and the lava. They know this thing is, something's not right. You just don't have 464 earthquakes where a super volcano is and just let it just it's not water off a duck's back here. We got a problem. I mean, we had a quake in there just a few days ago of about 3.8. We've had several over 2.5. We've had 464 in all, and it's not over. The super volcano at Yellowstone National Park has been hit with more than these 400 earthquakes, and researchers say it's nothing to be alarmed about, though. What? They have to put that out there. Calm down, everybody. But in a statement to the Star Valley Independent, scientists from the University of Utah, which monitors this super volcano, said the earthquake swarms are nothing new, but they're intensifying. Matter of fact, this is the highest number of earthquakes at Yellowstone in a single week. In the past 5 years, they've been monitoring. There were swarms back in 2002, 2004, 2008, and 2010. But this is very, very powerful. Matter of fact, we had a 4.5 earthquake hit Montana at Yellowstone back on June 15th. And since June 12th, there's been 464 earthquakes there. So we know that we're dealing with here, there's been approximately 30 earthquakes that were higher than 2.5, between 2.5 and a magnitude of 3. So there's something going on. The U.S. Geological Survey, of course, they're all over it. NASA's monitoring it. The University of Utah, they're on top of it. Everybody knows this is important. And so we'll continue to keep a close eye on it. I'm not going to just let this get swept under the rug and not talk about it. We must watch it. Now, if the swarm ends and things can calm down, then good, because we've had the swarms before. But you know, the surface of the roads 2 years ago was melting. Last year we had herds of buffalo and bison and deer running to get out of Yellowstone. So we must watch this. We must keep a close eye, because it could bring about a cataclysmic, catastrophic, an explosion of biblical proportions that could literally alter humanity on this planet. And so we have to watch it. We're in the last days. We see all the other signs of the end times happening. It's unbelievable. I tell you what, you won't believe the messages. I'm going to be preaching down in Orlando, Florida, coming up June 30th and July 1st at the Florida Breeze Conference. Pastor Steve Leidig from Hyman, Pennsylvania will be joining me, along with his praise singers, and Kevin Wilson Band from London, Kentucky will be there live. But I'm going to be preaching two messages. Jesus drew the line in the sand, and the other message is the sands of time. So there's a lot in the signs that are in the heavens that we're going to be talking about. And God is certainly moving. Have you given your life to Jesus Christ? Because we are living, folks, in the last days. What? News coming out of Guatemala. A powerful mega 6.8 earthquake has just rocked it. It shocked the people there. There is damage definitely being recorded. It's early. It's a very fluid situation, but this 6.8 magnitude shock strikes just off the Pacific coast of Guatemala. According to the reports, it's too early, so there's no reports of any, it says in the article, damage. I'm sitting there looking at pictures of damage, so it shows you. It takes some time for this. Also, the reports are that it could be felt in neighboring El Salvador, even as far as Mexico. The U.S. Geological Survey said the earthquake struck 24 miles southwest of Puerto San Jose and approximately 6.2 miles below the Earth's surface. So it's very shallow quake. This is the second such earthquake to hit Central America in the past week. Guatemala was hit with a 7.0 last week. Now they're hit with a 6.8. Last week's quake did kill 2 people, and we're very, very concerned about what's going on right now. So we'll keep a close eye on what's taking place with Guatemala. And also, by the way, I reported this yesterday, Guatemala had a massive mudslide that killed at least 11 people and buried several more homes. We don't know what the death toll is going to be. That's also happening in Guatemala. So pray for Guatemala. A 7.0 earthquake, a killer mudslide, and now a 6.8 quake, all within 7 days. It's happening, folks. People are concerned. Pray for Guatemala. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. Jesus said there would be earthquakes in diverse places. We'll give you a full rundown of all the earthquakes today on our live broadcast. Starts at 12 noon Eastern. That's 12 noon Eastern at my website at www.paulbegleyprophecy.com.